I'm incredibly tired right now. I want to take a nap, but I am an American citizen, and I've lived here in the United States. I've lived in Vermont my entire life. I've lived here for 18 years now. My civic knowledge, my knowledge about civics, if you will, is not as articulate as I would like it to be. I mean, now I'm studying political science on a broader, prestigious scale, but in terms of like just basic trivial knowledge and basic facts, some of that grassroots knowledge just isn't there. I've done a lot of independent research, but public schooling generally doesn't go as in depth as I would like it to. This is a copy of the United States citizenship tests that we give to immigrants seeking citizenship status. It is 100 questions. Some of them are pretty easy. Some of them are pretty difficult. This copy contains all of the answers to the questions. And so I wanted to generate a copy. I asked ChatGPT to generate a copy of this without the answers on it. And it generated questions 1 through 15 and then stopped and said, I can't legally do this anymore. And I said, what do you mean? It's publicly available. And ChatGPT would go, oh, okay, let me generate that for you. And then we'd go in circles. And I'd say, but it's publicly available. And it'd be like, I'm getting right on that. Sorry, I can't legally do this. What I instead did was I sent a copy of this to my friend Lookie, who probably is commenting on this video. And I told him to take some questions he found difficult, some questions he didn't know, and some questions he thinks I wouldn't know. I would like to study the Constitution over a break and memorize them all, actually, now that I say that. All right, so this is the list that my foreign friend, my Dutch friend, has compiled. What does the Constitution do? The Constitution gives you rights. That's what it does. The idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. What are these 3 words? We the people. What is an amendment? An amendment is a fancy word for a ratification or change. How many amendments does the Constitution have? I believe it's 27. What are 2 rights in the Declaration of Independence? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's 3. What is the rule of law? What do you mean, what is the rule of law? I'm missing something. I have to check the answer. What is the rule of law? Everybody must follow the law. Leaders must obey the law. Government must obey the law. Nobody is above the law. I was overcomplicating it. I could have said that. Name 1 branch or part of the government. There are 3 branches: the legislative, the executive, and the judicial branch. Judicial. What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? Checks and balances. Who makes federal laws? Who makes them? Congress. Congress makes federal laws. A House of Representatives has how many voting members? That would be 435. There is about 1 person, 1 representative for every 600,000 people. About. I say about because it's not even. And which we can draw to the issue of gerrymandering, right? Like how congressional maps are often drawn to favor a party or a race. In some states, it is impossible to ungerrymander the states. But the fact that some contemporary politicians are glorifying gerrymandering, stop bending the rules. If the president and the vice president can no longer serve, who becomes president? That would be the Speaker of the House, followed by, if the Speaker of the House also cannot serve, then the pro tempore of the Senate will serve, which I believe is the oldest member of the Senate. I could be wrong. What are 2 cabinet level positions? I don't know how many there are, but there's Secretary of Agriculture, Secretary of State, that's the big one, Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Defense slash War, Secretary of Health and Human Services, Secretary of Agriculture, Commerce, Defense, Education, Energy, Health and Human Services, Homeland Security, Housing and Urban Development, the Interior, Labor, State, Transportation, Treasury, Veterans Affairs, the Attorney General, and the Vice President. So, fun fact, I think you can feel free to fact check me here, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. If the President, Vice President, Speaker of the House, and pro tempore of the Senate are unfit to serve, then we go through the cabinet positions in order of how old the cabinet position is. What is one power of the federal government? The power to regulate coin and bill, something like that. I don't know how they phrase it, but the right to print money. To print money, to declare war, to create an army, and to make treaties. There are 4 amendments to the Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them. Oh boy, let's see if I can get them all. Was it the 19th? The 19th is prohibition, correct? I'm wrong. 19th is which one's prohibition? Is it 18th that's prohibition? Yes. The 18th Amendment was prohibition. The 19th Amendment was the right that gender and sex cannot determine if you have voting rights. So it gave women the right to vote. And then the 20th Amendment was abolishing prohibition. I'm wrong. It changed the start dates of the presidential and congressional terms. Oh, so it moved. Okay, I knew that. Before then, presidents were sworn in March, and it changed it to January. Repealed the 8th. Okay, I'm right. I was just one off. I knew it was prohibition, women's rights, undoing prohibition. Citizens 18 and older can vote. You don't have to pay a poll tax to vote. Any citizen can vote, women and men, and a male citizen of any race can vote. What is one responsibility that is only for United States citizens? One responsibility? Jury duty? Am I right? Serve on a jury. I'm correct. Name one right only for United States citizens. The right to vote, the right to a trial by jury is all persons, so everybody, and the right to bear arms is all people, so everybody. I'm trying to be an overachiever, yes. To vote in a federal election or run for federal office. I'm overthinking it. Name one right only for U.S. citizens to vote, and then name 2 rights for everybody. I did that already. The right to bear arms and the right, what did I say? Is habeas corpus guaranteed to all persons or citizens? It is guaranteed to all persons, not just citizens. You're wrong, test. What is the last day you can send in your federal income tax forms? April 15th? Unless you need an extension, correct? April 15th, motherfucker, that's right. When must all men register for selective service? On their 18th birthday. I think they have 3-week grace period, but technically all biological men have to register for a draft. So if there's ever another draft, which I think the days of man-to-man combat war are largely over, if there's ever another draft that your name is now in a hat, I think I'd be ineligible for a draft because of my, got the name for it. I have a knee problem. What is one reason colonists came to America? What is one reason? I could name several controversial reasons, but I'll be nice. They like tomatoes. What is it? freedom, political liberty, religious freedom, economic opportunity, escape persecution. Okay. Okay, they wanted tomatoes. That's a satisfactory answer. What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? That was the Louisiana Purchase, thanks to Thomas Jefferson. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. The War of 1812 and the Civil War. You could count that. What did Susan B. Anthony do? What did Susan B. I know this, but it's down there. It's deep in there, and I can't get it out. What did Susan B. Am I about to Google what did Susan B. Anthony do? Fought for women's rights and civil rights. They don't teach us much about women's suffrage in high school, and I wish they would. There's so much about women's suffrage I don't know, which is most of it. I would love to learn more about it. That's the end of Lookie's list, which shocks me because questions like name one American Indian tribe in the United States, I don't think I could have done that. Actually, Lookie did a pretty good job at getting, who is the governor of your state? That would be Phil Scott. Well, thank you, Lookie, for gathering these difficult questions and really testing whether or not I deserve American citizenship. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. If you liked it, subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.